Hey! Although all records for video delay have already been broken because, like John Connor, I was resisting my own top machine for the right to render the video. I'm back talking again. And so, my audience hits play and waits for their hero, Gunnar with a chick in his arms. They'll cry out to me, "Finish at least one damn series on your channel." And I'll whisper back like, "Guys, fuck. So today's video is about Devil May Cry." And now, a whole year after that very anime dropped, you're watching my vid about Devil May Cry. Because, first of all, punctuality is my bitch. And second of all, sorry, ladies, but I was just fucking blown away by that comeback. Because I'm the real damn veterinarian of the crying Dantes. Not gonna lie, I got some enjoyment out of finishing even this piece of shit. But what blew my fucking mind even harder was the comeback of the gaming community around this whole thing and the comments from people going, "What the fuck is this?" In takes like that, I saw straight up disrespect. And since my channel is basically one massive gunshot aimed right at disrespect on the internet, I'm about to straight up break it down for some wide-eyed American dumbasses. Why this series once had cult video game status and exactly how it earned it. Let's start with the main complaints. If, while watching the Devil May Cry trailer, you thought, why is the main character a shaggy hobo? And what the hell is going on here? Well, that's basically the whole point of Devil May Cry. Usually, journalists and just regular players compare a game's quality by criteria like gameplay, story, music, and other bullshit. But in the case of Crying Donatello, there's a real little problem. Each of the games is located somewhere on another planet relative to these concepts. The plot in each part, at first glance, can be explained in 2 words. The gameplay may look spectacular, but it differs so drastically from other genre works and is so hostile to the player that a newcomer will have to spend a ton of time, possibly even forget about work and family, while failing again and again to overcome the second boss on normal difficulty. But it is exactly in these seeming flaws that the series' main sex lies. Because none of these aspects work on their own, they work together, merging into one powerful, imposing element. And its name is Dante. It is precisely through his journey that you fully immerse yourself in this story, which, at first glance, seems as simple as your father's recipe of rum and coke. It is exactly by playing as Dante that you spend hours trying to comprehend this fucked up combat system, grinding combos and movement that Batman executes with 2 hits to the fucking mouse. And it is exactly because of what happens to him under that Japanese music that it hits you so hard that after just an hour, you're ready to go beat the shit out of some punks on the street to real rock. But what's even more important is the developer's approach to the main character's vibe. If Dante is in the game, then the developers have to tear their own Japanese chimney apart to make the characters around him, whether it's the main antagonist or another protagonist not inferior to him in the slightest. Because it's the interaction between the characters in the Crying El Dante that ties all the gameplay elements together into this kind of unique storytelling that I'd call action storytelling, where through punches to the stupid face from one badass dude to another, they're not just showing us a cool spectacle, but telling a story that can only be told within the medium of a video game. And if you didn't understand a single fucking thing I just said, then I didn't understand a single thing either, because this is something that needs to be shown. That's exactly why I made this video, where I'll break down in detail how the unique storytelling mechanism in Devil May Cry works using No. Fuck. Yeah, that's Dante. Dante from the immortal classic called Devil May Cry. We'll break down this very storytelling mechanism of Devil May Cry 3 across several stages of the game, its beginning, middle, and end. Let's start with the very beginning. If in other action games we're usually introduced to the main character, his past, and the world around him, here the game basically tells us it doesn't give a fuck about any of that. Instead, it just shows us an intro scene where a female voiceover talks about the feud between the sons of the demon Sparta, who sacrificed himself and his human wife to save humanity. One of the sons either kills the other or gives him the final ass-kicking, and that's it. There's your intro. The scene cuts to the next one with the sound of a ringing phone, where we see a guy with a standard California look slouched in a chair. He answers the call on his Android and says that his shop isn't open yet. Then he starts rambling about how he can't come up with a name for the place, and they don't even explain what exactly the business is supposed to do. Then some bald guy slowly walks into the building with some weird shit floating on his face and says the following.
Is your name Dante, son of Sparta?
Where did you hear that?
From your brother. He sent this invitation for you. Please accept it.
We've just witnessed a typical DMC-style Matrix cutscene, and there are a shitload of these in the game. Watching some of them, you just have to ask yourself how the human brain, the fuck, even comes up with this stuff. But let's get back to this scene, because this flashy little stunt, instead of 1,000 words, lets a newcomer understand that this guy has some serious combat skills and is at the very least some kind of mercenary. But most importantly, even here, we can tell that in his agency, the one whose name he was racking his brain over, and about which we were told absolutely nothing, he's clearly not going to be selling anime figures or handing out quick loans. After some jerk raids his place, his next move is to casually hop down off the table like nothing happened and go back to finishing his pizza. But a pack of devils that pop out of nowhere won't let him, and they skewer his sexy torso with scythes. He doesn't give a fuck though, some supernatural freaks attacked him, and just look at this guy's face. Can you even imagine him standing in line with some fat, inarticulate slut? Okay, never mind. Throughout all this, Dante barely says a word, yet the player already gets thoroughly acquainted with Dante's main personality trait, namely, his absolute not giving a fuck attitude. And surely a real American SEAL would feel disgust and the urge to throw up from all this anti-realism and exaggerated coolness of the guy. Who the fuck is he? Anyway, it's impossible to empathize with such a character at all. And then Dante does the following.
This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Yeah, he can't turn on his boombox after just beating the shit out of a demon with his finger. He can't use that same finger to turn on the music he was planning to beat these fanatics to. It may seem like a small thing, but that exact scene suddenly turns Dante from a typical cool anime hero into an idiot and makes him, well, more human, I guess. For example, let's push a bit further into this moment.
Damn it! You guys totally wrecked my shop, and I haven't even named it yet! You're gonna pay for that.
Hold on, who is it? Who? Hold on, cuz. Hold on! Bullshit. You bullshit, nephew. Bullshit.
And how the hell can you not love a character like that after just 10 minutes of gameplay when his dumbass personality is already more than obvious? But at this point, it's worth moving on to what's actually happening in the gameplay. The intro mission wasn't anything difficult, except for the fact that the player isn't told what the fuck to do at all. The player fumbles for the button to shoot from guns or swing the sword, most likely just randomly mashing them and enjoying themselves to the rock music playing, without even giving a damn about that mysterious gauge. Stepping outside, the enemies multiply even more, but by the end, Dante gets attacked by the first boss. And this isn't just any first boss. Let's skip the nitty-gritty of the first boss fight for now, and move on to the real hook for the player in Devil May Cry 3. After taking down the Ultra Bastard, Dante sees a massive tower rising from the ground, with the face of the game's main antagonist blasting from its top. And what the developers did here is genius. How do you create the perfect opponent for a badass main character? someone who's in no way inferior to him. Of course, you make him the main character's twin brother, and his name is Virgin. Despite having the exact same fucking face, everything about him screams that he's the complete opposite of his brother. Virgil looks more serious, his hair slicked back, dressed like some aristocrat instead of a washed-up rocker. He constantly holds the handle of his katana, like he's ready to fuck someone up at any second. And he even speaks with this sort of British-Japanese accent.
Don't get so cocky.
However, he highlights all of his danger and presentability for the player's introduction not through those details, but precisely in this very action scene. Just moments ago, with a single strike, he fucked up the first boss of the game. The same boss that a newcomer, playing as Dante, probably beat on the 3rd, 4th, or 15th try, depending on the player's level of autism, of course, but the intro ends with Dante's accepting his brother's challenge and heading to the top of that very tower called Temen Nigru. Essentially, Devil May Cry 3 is built around a fairly simple structure in which Dante has to fight his brother 3 sweaty times, moving from one encounter to the next. And this structure I would call
The power of Sparta. Where's your motivation? Motivation.
Perceiving all the scenes shown in the game, we already know that Virgil will defeat Dante, but we don't know how it will end for the two of them. And the presentation of the characters' personalities and abilities, even in such a short time, already makes the player think,
so what the fuck kind of fight did they just have?
You move together with Dante toward the top of the tower, fighting through fucking hell against some sweaty bosses, whom Dante still manages to royally talk shit to.
Leave now, mortal! The likes of you are forbidden in this land! You who are powerless are not worthy to set foot here!
Wow, I've never seen a talking mud before. You know, in a dog show, you'd definitely take first place.
You ugly human make a mockery of me!
Easy, Fido. How about I take you out for a walk? Come on, puppy, let's go.
Bosses that a newcomer in any other game would have probably already dropped. But considering they already showed you Virgil and just that one move he pulls off while barely giving a shit, you realize this is just a warm-up practice before a fight with someone who actually matters. Every boss, in the end, shows Dante respect and rewards him with a weapon that you don't even really try to master, because you still don't understand what it's truly capable of. And like this, slowly, through retries and climbing higher and higher toward the top of the tower, they're also showing you these two characters along the way. There's Statham, the guy we already saw, who's Virgil's ally, and the chick with the bazooka, who crosses paths with Dante and is also heading to the top. But she doesn't actually need Virgil, she needs him, and neither Dante nor the player treat her motives like something serious. You basically don't give a fuck about that subplot, because compared to the others, these two at least can't catch bullets with their teeth like it's a normal Tuesday.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
So that whole storyline just kind of hangs off to the side. At this point, both you and Dante care about one thing only, Virgil, and after slowly frying your brain on those brutal bosses, you finally reach Verg. There's the brothers cutscene, showing that hostility between them, the lore-heavy part you're not really digesting yet, and then, without any extra bullshit, the game leads you straight into the fight.
You showed up.
You sure know how to throw a party. No food, no drinks, And the only babe just left.
My sincerest apology, brother. I was so eager to see you, I couldn't concentrate on preparations for the bash.
Whatever. At any rate, it's been a whole year since we last met. How about a kiss from your little brother? Or better yet, how about a kiss from this?
You got that right.
Long story short, you start throwing hands. The newbie gets absolutely bodied twice as hard as on the previous bosses. And right there in the fight, they once again show the difference between the characters. If Dante is all about chaining a ton of hits together, Virgil is the kind of guy who stays quiet and then suddenly just smacks the hell out of you. Every single move Virgil makes shows how little of a damn he gives about Dante, and how unserious this whole fight is to him. He slowly slides his katana back into the sheath, and unlike his brother, he just walks. While you hit him 4 times and don't take off jack shit, with one single lunge, he deletes half your HP and then just stands there. It hurts even more when you get that warm, hopeful feeling seeing Virgil at a couple of HP during an overdrive. But after all those sweaty, bloody tries where the player is locked in, focusing everything on somehow beating the crap out of Virgil, you get shown that very scene where Virgil beats Dante. Fucking awesome. Holy shit.
Why do you refuse to gain power? The power of our father, Sparta.
Father? I don't have a father. I just don't like you, that's all.
Foolishness, Dante. Foolishness. Might controls everything, and without strength, you cannot protect anything, let alone yourself.
Alright, just so you get it, let's count the tries. That dog, about 10 times. Agni and Rudra, about 10 times too. That fucking clown, let's say twice. The demons, 3 times. And Virgin, 15 times. Virgil takes the medallion from the beaten down Dante, the one you need to get that power. And Dante, well, he's not a total dumbass. He understands how shitty the whole situation is, but he still tries with every last bit of strength to keep going.
I see a devil inside you has awakened as well.
Wait. We should leave. For the moment we have all that we need.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah. Virgil, the straight-up winner in this situation, just bails to follow his own goals. And on that freewheeling note, the first stage of motivation ends, and the second stage begins. And now, it's no longer called interest. It's called...
I will massacre you! I will fuck you up!